Well, hello, Move Easy Movers. Welcome to Move Easy Yoga with Kathy. Today is actually April 1st, 2023, or whatever day you're watching this video. Happy April Fool's Day. I'm not fooling when I tell you that movement is the best thing we can do for ourselves. Today, we're going to focus on legs and a little bit of core strength. The equipment you'll need is your trusty chair and a strap. And we're going to do a little bit of side lying. So whatever you have under your head when you're side lying, and whatever you have under your head when you're head ramping. So we're going to start with our static rest that we normally do. So this is the first part of our warm-up. Legs on your chair or couch. You want your hips to be at neutral. You can have your arms up at cactus if you choose, or just wherever they're most comfortable. And while you're in that position, you want to breathe normally and just bring yourself into the room, into the space. And we're going to be here for 7 minutes. Okay, time's up. So stay where you are and curl your tongue at the roof of your mouth and slowly move your head right and left 5 or 6 times. And finish up. Now we're going to do the vagus nerve reset. We're all familiar with this. Your head is facing forward. Just your eyes are going to move to the right. And we're activating the vagus nerve. So you wait for that sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. If you're new to this, it may take a few minutes. And then again, your head is straight ahead and you move just your eyes to the left and wait for that yawn, sigh, swallow, or gulp. Now do this 2 more times on each side without my cueing. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Okay, finish up. And the next thing we're going to do is head ramping. So, excuse me, you can leave whatever you've got for support under your head, or you can put a set of therapy balls or a sponge ball. Now, also with the head ramping, you can do this sitting up if you choose. Um, or you can do it lying down. Now, the idea is to press your occipital ridge, it's that bony part between the ears, away from your body. If you're sitting up, you're pressing it against the wall. If you're lying down, you're pressing against the floor. We're reversing text neck. We're looking down at our watches, at our phones, at our computers all the time. So we want to stretch that part out. So press and hold, and then release, and press and hold, and then release, press, hold, release. 2 more times. Press, hold, and release. And press, hold, and release. Okay, good job. Oh, excuse me. The next thing we're going to do is breathing. So we're doing extended exhale breathing today. And it's very simple. You take a normal breath, but you count your breath as you inhale. And then your exhale should be longer or as long as possible. The idea is to make it at least twice as long if possible. If you can't, that's fine. Just make it as long as you can. And then you inhale again and then exhale. Now, everybody has a different ability or pace. So I'm going to let you do this on your own. But basically, again, you just count your inhale and then exhale. Try to make it longer. It may be helpful if you purse your lips as you exhale. So I'll give you a couple of minutes on that. Okay, go ahead and finish up. Now let's move our chair away and come up to a sitting position. We're going to do our regular side bends with lat stretch. So let me get my timer. Start on your right side. Slide your hand along the mat. Upper arm comes up and over. You want to stop when you feel that first pull. We don't need to extend ourselves or hurt ourselves. Now lower your upper arm till it's parallel to the floor. You might feel a different stretch. Excuse me. Okay, arm up, torso up. Excuse me, I need a quick sip of water. I seem to be choking. All right. Now, other side. Left arm along the mat. Right arm up and over. You may find you're able to stretch more on one side than the other. I know I can. Now lower your arm till it's parallel to the floor and feel that different stretch. Reach for that wall. There you go. Arm up, torso up. Okay. And we're going to do our spine rotation. So we start with our left hand on our right knee. Our right arm is behind us with spider fingers. Rotate the spine. Now you have options. You can move your head back and forth, move your rib cage back and forth, or you can just enjoy the stretch. Just be aware of where you're feeling it, what's going on in your body. Okay, come on around. Let's do the other side. Right hand on left knee. Left arm is behind you. Spider fingers. It's your support arm. Rotate. Remember your options with your head, with your rib cage. Don't do the head and the rib cage all at once. Or just enjoy the stretch. Feel what's going on here. Okay, come on around. Let's go ahead and switch our legs. We've been in this position for a few minutes. Now, for the third movement, we're doing something new. We're going to put our arms up to each side, and then we're going to just move our ribs right and left. We're going to do this 5 or 7 times, just slowly. Right and left. Keep your shoulders back and your back as straight as you can. And we're basically just moving our upper torso to one wall and then the other. We're moving slowly. Just kind of warming up the torso a little bit. Okay. All right. Good job. So the next thing we're doing is the leg stretch. This is where our strap comes in. You want to put one foot against a wall. I'm going to rearrange my mat so I can do that. Now I'm going to start with my left foot against the wall. You are supine. The strap goes around your right foot and then it comes back. Now, if your knee is bent, that's okay. And you want to put your elbows on the floor so you're not straining your shoulders. And just pull gently back with the strap in both hands. If your knee is straight, that's fine. If it's bent a little, that's fine too. You want to be gentle. We're stretching our hamstrings, and you may feel it in your quads. This is a 40-second stretch. Come on, timer. So pull back gently. Excuse me. Oh. And just pull back as far as you can. Again, gently. And I'm getting a cramp in my leg, so I'm kind of not pulling much at all, which is weird. Okay. Now the next movement is you take both straps in one hand and you move the leg to the right. You may only move this far, and that's fine. But you want to move it as far as you can over to the right. You want to keep your left hip on the ground. The only reason I can move it this far is hereditary. It's just the way my hips are built. But just move it as far as you can. Don't hurt yourself. No pain, no strain. Meanwhile, the other leg is solid against that wall with the toes at the ceiling. There we go. Now, for the third stretch, we are moving the leg to the left. Now we're going to rotate our wall foot so the side of it is on the floor now and the toes are pointing to the left. Your right hip's going to come up. So we're pulling that leg over to the left. You may want to rest it on something. I can rest it on my sponge ball or not. You can either have your arm in the same direction, or if you want to twist, you can put it behind you and get a twist as well. It's up to you. The foot is still against the wall, but now the side of the foot, the knife edge, is on the floor. And I forgot to set my timer. So we'll give it just a couple more seconds. There we go. Okay. Now other leg. Or other foot, I should say. So now my right foot is on the wall. Left foot is up in the air. So relax your arms. Your elbows are on the floor. Pull back gently with both hands. Knee can be slightly bent. Knee can be straight. Whatever works best for you. I feel this in my hamstrings and the back of my calves. Just be aware of where you're feeling this. This is just a really good stretch for the legs. One of my favorites. And there we are. So take the strap in your left hand. Your foot is still firmly on the wall. Pull your leg to the left. Go as far as you can. Keep that right hip on the floor, flat on the floor. All righty. And leg stretch 3, we're rotating our foot that's on the wall. The left hip is going to come up. And the foot goes off to the right. And you may shift a little. The left hip comes up. The foot goes over, can rest on something or not. Your arm can either be behind you or rotated, which means your shoulder is going to come up. Whichever works for you. All righty, there we go. Good job. Now, next on the agenda is going to be leg lifts. So we're going to be side lying. We're going to do the lower part of our regular side lying practice. And you want to put something under your head. To support you. And you want to line up your shoulders, your hips, your knees. We're going to start with leg lifts. So you can either have your lower leg straight or bent for support. It's up to you, but the upper leg is straight. And just up we go and down. We're not going all the way up. We're not going to engage our hips, just the leg. When you start feeling it in your hip, that's when you stop. So just up. 3. You're doing this 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're anything like me, you're feeling that in your hip flexor as well. So we're getting some hip work today. And then the next movement is the forward and back. So you're forward, your leg is forward, your foot is flexed. And when it goes back, it points. You point your toe. At this point, when you're in this position, you can actually also flex your glutes if you want. So forward, flex, back, point. Forward, back, forward, back. 2 more times. Forward, back, forward, back. Okay. Go ahead and give yourself just a little breather. The next thing we're doing is clams. So you want your knees and your hips to be stacked. We're keeping our ankles together, just raising our knee. Up and down. We're going to do 5 or 6 like this, and then we'll do them with resistance. Again, I'm only coming up so far that I don't engage my hip. So it may only be a little bit, but a little movement is better than no movement. So just come up until you start feeling it in your hip and then come back down. Now, if you're like me, you need to move your knees closer to your body because I have short arms. And we're going to do this with resistance. So we are pressing down with our hand. When the knee comes up, the knee is winning, but the hand is pressing. When the knee comes down, the hand is winning, but the knee is pressing up. So this is a little bit more intense. So we're only going to do 5. So that was, okay, 1, 2, 3, 'should feel this in your arm as well because we're using our arms. 4. Notice I'm not coming up very far either. 5. Okay. And now the other side. So you can just roll over, and I'm going to readjust so you can see me. So again, shoulders, hips aligned, knees, ankles, everything aligned. Your lower leg can be bent or it can be straight. It's up to you. So we're going to do leg lifts. 1, 2, just let your foot dangle. 3, we're just coming up as high as we can before engaging our hips. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now the leg forward and backward, or forward and back. At this point, you might want to bend your lower leg for more support. So forward, foot is flexed. Back, foot is pointed. Squeeze your glutes. Forward, flex. Back, point. Forward, flex. It's 3. 4. 5. Okay. Now the clams, knees, ankles, hips aligned, feet stay together. Excuse me, I've got a bug in my throat today. 2, 3. You're moving slowly. 4. I have to remind myself that. 5. Now, with resistance, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to come up to standing. We're going to do standing on one foot, and then we're also going to do get-ups and squats. Won't that be fun? Okay. I've got to set up real quickly here. So as we've said before, balance is very crucial to, or is crucial to longevity. The more you can balance, the better you can balance, the longer you're likely to live in better health. And I practice in my kitchen. I was baking yesterday, so I was waiting for the last like 2 minutes or so, and I would just stand on one foot. So you want to have something nearby, though, that you can hang on to if you have to. And we're doing it 30 seconds on each side. So we're going to start on the right. Now you can put your foot up this way with your knee in front. You can put it in front of your foot, behind your foot, behind like this, whichever works for you. So 30 seconds. There we go. And the trick is to look straight across the room and focus on something. Don't look at the computer. Don't look down. Focus. There we go. That wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, we're going to do the other foot. You've got your options. "30 seconds. Okay. Now, if you're wobbly, that's good. Not a problem. If you have to touch down, that's good too. Not a problem. So the next thing we're going to do are our get-ups. Getting up from the floor is also crucial. There's a couple of things we can do. So you want your chair handy. We start by sitting. So a classic way to get up is to come to your knees near something, and you put, for example, your left hand and your right leg forward, and then just push yourself up. Or you can do from sitting. Did I say your right hand? I meant your left hand. Your right hand and your left leg forward. Notice my toes curl, and then up. It's a good thing to practice this on a regular basis, because that way, if you fall, you can get up easily. Now, what I'd like you to practice, and I've been doing it myself, is getting up without assistance, without holding on to something. Make sure you've got something handy if you're practicing this, in case you do need it. But there are several different ways to get up without using your arms. This is a bit advanced, and it's something maybe you can work on your own time. But if you're in a sitting position, and currently I'm Z because I'm about to move my hips, you can get up to your knees, go from your knees. Now you can put your hands on your knee if you need to, and just get up. That is going to take a little bit of practice. I find when I'm sitting on the floor for any length of time, that when I go into a squat, it's easier for me. And this is just to show you. I go into squat and then I come up. But again, that takes leg strength. And sometimes when I'm in that squat, I need a little bit of oomph to help me up. So it's just something to practice with something handy. Pretty soon you'll get to the point where you can do it without having to hold on to something. And that's actually the ideal. If you still have to, that's fine too. But getting up, practicing, getting up different ways is always a good idea. So the next thing we're going to do, don't need our chair again, or you may need it for the next thing. We're going to squat. So if you want to use a brick, you can. There are different options. You can squat on the brick if you choose. You can lower it, put your butt on it, or not. We're just going to squat for 2 minutes. So I like to have my legs a little further than hip width apart and then come down. So if you like, you can put your elbows at your knees, come into prayer position, or not. But squatting is another good way to get strength down there, strength for your get-ups. So I find myself squatting when I need to pick something up off the floor instead of bending over sometimes. And then coming up from a squat is also an exercise. So we've got 1 more minute to go. Feel like a monkey. This is also very good for your hips. When we're doing leg work, we're also doing hip work. So squatting every day is actually very good. I also feel, I don't know if you do, but I feel a stretch in my lower back. That's interesting. 15 seconds. If you need to stop, stop. It's okay. You may not be able to hold this pose for that long. Okay, that's it. Now see if you can get yourself up from that squat. If not, that's fine too. So we're going to go to tabletop now. So back to the mat. And a couple of options on tabletop. You can, of course, be on your hands and knees. You can be on your forearms if that works better for you. What we're going to do is fine if you're on your forearms. If you have trouble with your wrists, you fold the mat over. And that's easier on your wrists. But what we're doing is, again, you can do this way as well. We're going to stretch our leg out and then raise it up and down. We want to keep our hips even if we can, and our shoulders. Just going to do this 5 or 7 times. So up, down, up, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, 6. There we go. Knee back. And now we're going to take our leg, stretch it out again, move it to the side and back. Let me do a different angle here. So the leg is out and back to the side and back to the side and back. 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then the third in this triplet is your knee is bent, your leg is up. We're going to raise it, come down, raise it, come. So your knee is almost touching, but not quite. Up, down, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good job. Other side. So leg raises, leg is straight out, up. Oops, I need to move forward a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Leg to side, straight out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, come on. 6. Okay, and the last one. Bent knee. So leg up, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. If you want, you can come back into a ancient prayer position, just stretch out a little. And then get ready for Yoga Nidra. Make sure that you are comfortable, warm, or cool, as the case may be. You might want to put something over your eyes. I'm going to guide you through a 61-point guided meditation. I'll ask you to systematically move your attention through internal points as I mention them. Allow your awareness to flow to these points without moving your body. Begin with your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Observe your abdomen as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes the 61-point guided meditation. Begin to wiggle and stretch. Stretch your legs out if they're bent. Stretch your arms above your head. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. First one way and then the other. Now hold your right knee to your chest. Thank you, knee. And straighten that leg. Hold your left knee to your chest. Thank you, knee. Straighten that leg. Hold both knees to your chest. And gently rock back and forth. Feel that massage on the organs on your back. Feels good. When you're ready, go ahead and roll towards the camera using your lower arm as a pillow. We're going to go ahead. This is our gratitude minute. We're going to go ahead and just be grateful for what we have. Grateful that we can move the way we do. Yoga is such an individual thing. It's not a competition. It's just healthy movement. I'm grateful that I can move here with you today. I don't know about you, but this movement really helps me in my daily activities. So let's just have an attitude of gratitude for the next 20 seconds. Okay, when you're ready, come on up to a sitting position. I'm going to change my view to gallery so I can see you all. And remove my spotlight. You might want to unmute yourself. Hands to our heart. Let's press just for a moment. See if you can feel your shoulders and then soften. I want to thank you for joining me today in some healthy movements. And let's end the class by saying to each other, Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Have a nice day.
Thank you guys. Yeah. Have a good day. April Fool's Day.
Hey, Kathy.
Yeah, hold on.